What if I told you that when you eat might matter just as much as what you eat? Sarah was 42 years old. She'd tried every diet, counted every calorie, exercised 6 days a week, and nothing moved. Then she changed one thing. Not what she ate, just when. 6 months later, 12 kilos gone, blood sugar back to normal. Her doctor was shocked. But here's the part nobody talks about. She almost did it wrong, and it could have put her in the hospital. Today, we're going to tell you everything. The science, the strategy, the warnings they never put in the headlines. Welcome to MedVivid, medicine made simple. If this is your first time here, hit that subscribe button right now, because what we do here will literally change how you think about your health. Let's go. It's not a diet, it's a schedule. And that changes everything. Most people think intermittent fasting, or IF, is about starving yourself. Wrong. Intermittent fasting is not about what you eat. It's about when you eat. You cycle between two states. A fasting period, 0 calories, your body shifts into a completely different mode. And an eating window. You eat your meals normally. That's it. No forbidden foods on the list. No measuring every gram. But inside your body, a biological revolution is happening. Here's what nobody visualizes. The first few hours after your last meal, your body is burning the sugar from that food. Normal, predictable. But then, something shifts. Around hour 12 to 16, your liver runs low on stored glucose, and it does something remarkable. It starts producing ketones, an alternative fuel, a cleaner burn. Scientists call this metabolic switching. Your body literally changes gears. And some researchers believe this switch, not just the calories, is part of what makes fasting so powerful. But wait, which type of fasting should you actually do? One of these could land you in the ER if you pick wrong. There are 4 main types of intermittent fasting, and they are not interchangeable. Number 1, time-restricted eating, or TRE. This is the most popular. You eat within a daily window, say 8 hours, and fast the rest. The famous 16 to 8 method. Fast for 16 hours, eat within 8. For beginners, start with 14 to 10. Easier, more sustainable, still effective. Number 2, the 5 to 2 method. You eat normally 5 days a week, but 2 non-consecutive days? You drop to around 500 to 600 calories. Non-consecutive is key. You don't do back-to-back fasting days. Number 3, alternate day fasting, ADF. 1 day eating, 1 day fasting, back and forth. Some studies suggest slightly more weight loss with this method, but honestly, it's the hardest to stick to long-term. Real life doesn't cooperate with every other day schedules. Number 4, the fasting mimicking diet, FMD. This one is different. 5 days per month of very low calories designed to trick your body into thinking it's fasting while still eating something. This is the most structured, and it should be done carefully, ideally with medical guidance. Now, which one should you choose? Here's the honest answer. The best plan is the one you will actually follow. Large research reviews show that IF and standard calorie restriction often produce similar results overall. What matters most is adherence, consistency. But before you start any of these, there's a warning you need to hear. This is the part of the video that could save your life. Don't skip it. Let me tell you about Marcus. Marcus had type 2 diabetes. He was on insulin, He heard about intermittent fasting on social media, thought it sounded great, and started the 16-8 protocol on his own. 2 days later, he woke up on the floor. His blood sugar had crashed. His wife called an ambulance. This is not a scare tactic. This is a documented risk. Here is the non-negotiable list. Do not start intermittent fasting without speaking to your doctor first if you use insulin or any medication that can lower blood sugar. Fasting can cause dangerous hypoglycemia. Are pregnant, trying to conceive, or breastfeeding. Have a history of eating disorders. Are underweight, frail, or losing weight unintentionally. Are a child or teenager. Your body is still growing. Have chronic kidney disease, advanced liver disease, or serious heart disease. And if you're an older adult, proceed with extra caution. The evidence in older populations is still developing, and protecting your muscle mass is just as important as losing fat. The good news? Intermittent fasting can be done safely even with type 2 diabetes, but only in a structured program with glucose monitoring and medication adjustment done by your doctor. If you take insulin, please talk to your doctor before trying this. Now, let's talk about what the research actually proves. 3 benefits are proven. 2 are hyped. 1 surprised even the researchers. Let's be scientists for a moment and separate the real from the hype. What is proven? 1. Weight loss. Across many clinical trials, intermittent fasting leads to real, measurable weight loss, especially in people with overweight or obesity. But here's the nuance. Most benefits appear to come because people simply eat fewer calories overall. The fasting window naturally limits how much you eat. That's the mechanism, not magic. 2. Blood sugar control. A randomized clinical trial in people with insulin-treated type 2 diabetes found that fasting 3 non-consecutive days per week significantly improved HbA1c, a key marker of long-term blood sugar control, over just 12 weeks. And no severe hypoglycemia occurred in that trial, with proper supervision. 3. Cholesterol and triglycerides. If can improve your blood fats, the improvements tend to be proportional to weight loss. What's mixed? Blood pressure and general metabolic health. Some people see improvements, some don't. Results vary, and diet quality matters enormously. For fatty liver disease, also called MASLD or NAFLD, meal timing may matter, and studies are ongoing. But major liver guidelines currently state there's limited evidence that time-restricted eating is better than simply reducing overall calories. And here's the one that surprised researchers. One study in lean, healthy adults found that daily calorie restriction reduced body fat more than alternate day fasting, even with the same total calorie deficit. What does that mean? Intermittent fasting is not automatically superior. For some people, consistent daily calorie reduction works better. The right tool depends on the person. Most people fail in week 1 because they start too aggressively. Don't be most people. Okay, you've cleared the safety checklist. You're ready to try this. Here's the protocol that actually works. Built for real humans, not influencers. Step 1. Start smaller than you think you should. Don't launch into 16-8 on day 1. Begin with 12 hours of overnight fasting. If you eat dinner at 8 p.m., don't eat again until 8 a.m. You're asleep for most of it. This is almost effortless. After a week, move to 14-10. Eat within a 10-hour window. Then try 16-8, if it feels right. You don't have to go further than 14-10 to see results. Step 2. What you eat in the window still matters a lot. This is where people sabotage themselves. Intermittent fasting is not a license to eat ultra-processed food for 8 hours straight. In your eating window, prioritize Protein at every meal. It keeps you full and protects your muscle. Vegetables and high-fiber foods. They slow digestion and prevent blood sugar spikes. Healthy fats. Olive oil, nuts, avocado. Minimally processed, real food. Step 3. Hydrate. Seriously. During your fasting window, water is your best friend. Unsweetened tea and black coffee are generally fine and won't break a fast. Avoid anything with sugar or cream. Those break the fast. Step 4. Think about timing. Some studies suggest that eating earlier in the day may provide extra benefits for weight loss and blood pressure, even compared to the same eating window later in the day. Translation: try to front-load your calories. Make breakfast and lunch your main meals. Cut back on late-night eating. Your metabolism is literally more active earlier in the day. Week 1 will feel hard. Here's exactly why, and exactly how to survive it. The first 1 to 2 weeks of intermittent fasting can feel rough. Headaches, irritability, low energy, hunger at 11 a.m. when you're trying to hold out until noon. Here's what's happening. Your body is addicted to a constant glucose drip. You're weaning it off. This is temporary. Headaches. Drink more water. Your electrolytes may be off. A small amount of salt in water can help. If you have blood pressure or kidney issues, ask your doctor first. Constipation. This is common when total food intake drops. Add more fiber, vegetables, legumes. Drink more water. Move your body. Overeating in the eating window. This is the trap. You get so hungry that when the window opens, you eat everything in sight. The solution? Plan your meals in advance. Lead with protein. Avoid keeping ultra-processed snacks in the house. Exercise. Light to moderate exercise is generally fine during a fast, but if you're doing intense workouts, weight training, sprints, you'll probably perform better if you eat first. Experiment and listen to your body. These side effects almost always improve as your body adapts, but there are warning signs that mean stop immediately. If any of these happen, stop fasting and call your doctor today. Stop fasting and contact your clinician if you experience repeated low blood sugar episodes, especially if you're on diabetes medication, new chest pain, fainting, or severe weakness, worsening mood, obsessive thoughts about food, binging, or any sign of disordered eating. Fasting can trigger these patterns in vulnerable individuals, and this is serious. Excessive or unintended weight loss, or signs of poor nutrition. And call emergency services immediately if you experience confusion, seizures, severe dizziness, or persistent vomiting. Intermittent fasting is a tool, not a religion. If it's hurting you, it's not for you, and that's okay. Here's the truth nobody wants to say out loud. Let's be real. Intermittent fasting is not magic. The research is clear. Many of its benefits come from eating fewer calories and improving your overall eating habits. The timing creates a structure that helps you do that naturally. Is it better than traditional calorie restriction? For some people, yes. For others, no. The best plan is the one you will stick with, long-term, consistently, without destroying your relationship with food. What is clear, it can help with weight and metabolic health for many people. It can improve blood sugar, triglycerides, and cholesterol. It works best when combined with high diet quality. It must be medically supervised if you have diabetes or other serious conditions. The single most important variable in any health strategy is not the strategy itself. It's you, your adherence, your consistency, your honesty about what you can sustain. That was your complete, evidence-based guide to intermittent fasting. Save this video, share it with someone who needs it, and if you have questions, drop them in the comments. We read every single one. You've been with MedVivid, medicine made simple. We'll see you in the next one.